This is Brian and Christina from Your HealthySteps. And have you ever tried to loosen up your calf muscles? Have you ever had those really tight calf muscles? So if you have, put down in the comments that that you've had tight calf muscles that you just couldn't get to loosen up. Because today, that's what we're covering. We're going to be talking about how to get those, why they're so hard to loosen up, and what you can do to get them loosened.
Yep. So the muscle we're focusing on today is the gastrocnemius, also known as the gastroc. There it is.
Yep. This is the bottom of this is your foot, and up there's your ankle. So it takes that whole back lower area.
Yeah. So usually when people think of the calf muscle, that's the muscle that they think of. But there's actually, that's the one on the outside, but there's actually, 5 more muscles that make up that whole area. Right? That make up the calf.
That make up the whole calf.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So did you know that there was 6 muscles taking up that area? There is.
That's pretty impressive.
Okay, but let's get familiar with gastroc.
Okay. Well, first of all, how do you know if it's tight? How do you know this area? So we're going to talk about 4 ways that it's tight. You can actually push on the muscle, and if it's tender, that's really a good indication that it's tight. Oh, sheesh.
We've been getting silly here.
Yeah, we have. We've been getting a little crazy. Yep.
Okay.
So you can pinch on the Achilles tendon, which is the lower part right down here. If you just pinch on that, you can actually feel that. If it's tender and tight, then that's another good indication.
Yeah.
If it's difficult moving the foot up and down, that is a really good indication, because that should be easy to do. And a lot of people, it isn't. It's quite difficult to get their foot to go up and down. And then muscle cramps. That's also a fantastic way of knowing that you've got some tightness going on there. And so go ahead and type in the comments if you've dealt with any one of those, and just type in the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And because we want to know. We want to know what you're dealing with.
So number 1 is going to be if you push on your muscle and it's tender. Number 2 is if you pinch on your Achilles tendon and it's tender.
Yeah.
Number 3, if you're finding you're having difficulty moving your ankle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then number 4 is if you're dealing with muscle cramps. Usually it happens at nighttime.
Yes. Yeah. At night is it can be quite interesting at night when you get muscle cramp.
So type those numbers below. That'll help us know how we can support you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when your muscle is tight, that gastroc is tight, we don't take care of it, we don't do anything about it, no self-care, right? Then that muscle just gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And what it can lead to is you can have pain in the ankle, right? Yeah. We can have pain in the heel. You can have pain in that muscle belly. You can have pain in the back of your knee, and then you can even have pain when you're moving your knee.
Yeah. And there's also what we call referral pain that comes from when a muscle is really, really tight and has what we call hyper-irritated spots. And this creates a pain pattern in the back. And so with this muscle, you can actually have pain really from above the knee, from the back of the knee, so the lower part of the back of the upper leg, the back of the knee, all the way down the calf muscle. And pain can be on the bottom of the foot, around the sole of the foot and the arch of the foot. You'll have pain there. So it covers a large area, this pain pattern. So generally speaking, if you've got a lot of pain going on in that area, you probably have a tight gastrocnemius.
Yeah. Do you want to, since you've got the picture, you want to explain the function?
And where it's located at? Yeah. All right, so let's do that. So again, here's a picture of that muscle. And you can see it goes across the back of your knee. So this muscle actually attaches above the knee. It occupies the whole space on the back of the lower leg, and then attaches right down here in the back of your heel on what's called the Achilles tendon, or most commonly known as the Achilles tendon. And again, what does this muscle do? Well, it pulls the foot down, and it actually helps bend the knee. So it's actually quite powerful muscle.
Yeah. So now that it makes sense why it can affect the knee and the ankle, because it crosses both of those joints.
It does, yes.
That's good to know. So why is that muscle so hard to loosen up?
Well, that's a great question, because I get that question all the time. I'm sure you get that question a lot. It's because if you look at this muscle, so the red spot here is muscle. So here's our foot, up here is the knee, and you can tell all this white area is tendon. So we would think a muscle was all muscle, and it's not. And the gastrocnemius is one of those where there's almost half of this, over half is tendon. And that's why it's so hard to loosen up. People work on it, and it just never seems to loosen up. And it's because it's so much tendinous material there.
Yeah. So you use this muscle when you're jumping, like in volleyball or basketball, or maybe when you're going on point, when you're dancing, right? Because you're really going on those toes. And really, anytime you're running or walking, this is a muscle that's being used.
Yeah, hikers, triathlons, marathoners, this muscle's being used for sure. So what is our solution? Well, in our practice, what we do is we show our clients how to use the foam roller using our techniques, and teaching them how to get through the different layers of the scar tissue, adhesions, those hyper-irritated points in the muscle. So getting all that garbage out of the muscle, that's what we show our clients every day, basically. And the other thing that we tell them is you have to be consistent with the foam roller. Using it once a month is not going to do it. And specifically with this muscle, it is not even going to, you might as well forget it. So it's consistency, and then knowing how to use the foam roller correctly.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
Yep. So make sure you are getting notifications when we go live, because we're going to go live every Monday Eastern Standard Time at 11 o'clock. And we're going to be your muscle coaches, muscle and self-care coaches. So just click following on our Facebook page, and that way you can keep on doing the things you love to do. And we'll be coaching you all the way how to take care of those muscles. And then if you're like all of our clients who ask that question, why are my muscles so achy and sore, right? Then we've put 4 videos together for you. So you can check those out, and I bet you're going to learn a ton. Absolutely. Number 1 is it's not because you're getting older.
No, absolutely not because you're getting older. No.
So I'll put that link in the description above, and so check that out. Okay.
All right.
So we'll see you on Monday.
Absolutely. Take care.
Bye-bye.
This is Brian and Christina from Your Healthy Steps.